Hello everyone, this is Adnan with Kind of Trending Videos, and we are on actually chapter 8. In this chapter, I'm going to go through what is the radius services. At the same time, we're going to go through how to configure VPN and routing within Server 2012. So first, let's understand what these topics are. Now, from experience standpoint, we're going to understand them right from the basics. So first of all, in order to understand VPN, we need to understand routers. In order to understand routers, we need to understand networks. And in order to understand network, we need to have little basics about the network. I'm sure everybody is already aware of the basics of network. Let me make this picture a bit smaller, put it on this side. So what happens is that we are talking about is chapter 8. It's all about VPN, radius, routers, and NAP services. First of all, in order to understand that, let's understand a bit basics about this topic. So first of all, we need to understand what is network. Now, network is considered to be two or more computers connected together is known as a network. So, for example, you have one computer and you have a second computer that is connected together. That is known as a very small network. Nowadays, this type of network doesn't even exist. But here, the main components of this network are basically you have a network card here and another network card here on this side and this computer, and you're all connected through a network cable. So in order to make a network, you have to know these components. In order to make a network, we must know that first of all you need to have a computer. Number two, you need to have a network card. Number three, you have to have a network cable. Now this is just two computers connected together, but a real network would be something like this, where you have two more than two computers connected together, because then here we understand that what is really required. Now in this case, in order to connect these computers, you need to have a device called a switch. So we're going to introduce switch, and all these three computers will be connected to a switch. Now again, in this we introduced a new component. So you have a network card that exists on all these computers. Number one. Then secondly, I do have this as a network cable that connects to the switch, and the third thing is a switch. Switch. Main purpose of the switch is connect all these computers together. Switch is also known as a layer 2 device. Layer 2 device. Uh, now, now the computers are connected to a switch, and main purpose of a switch is connect to these computers, and all together uh, this is known as. So if I'm gonna bring uh, if I'm gonna bring so this part including let me just remove the coloring. Hmm. Okay. Uh, there's a kind of shape. I'm gonna just say autofill and no fill. So right here. So now this so computers with cable with a switch. Now this is known as a one network. So this is known as uh, so where it's gone anyways. This is known as network. So this is I have to try my drawing. As you can see, I'm not a good drawing person. So this is known as a network. Now, so network is defined as this. Now, when you have two or more networks, when we need to connect two or more networks together, then we need to bring a device called a router in between the two networks. So here, I'm going to make another network. So here you have another machine, and let's say this is another floor of this of a building. Maybe you're right across that other building, and this is also your company's network. You have computers, another switch, and here this is network number two. And whenever you need to connect two networks together, we need to bring a device that is known as a router. So router is a device that connects networks together, whereas switch is a device that connects computers together. So switch connects computer, router connects network. This is router is known as a layer 3 device. So basically this is a basics of a network. Whenever you need to make a network, you need a switch to connect computers, you need a router to connect the networks together. So this is one thing. Now, so this lecture is about, first of all, let's understand routing. So let's understand route here. Now, main purpose of a router is to connect different devices together. Most of the time, you're going to need a physical router. So basically, this is a router. This is how a router diagram looks like. This is known as a Cisco router. Most of the time, in many networks, your company might be using a device like this, which is a router, physical router. But if ever, even maybe for a test environment, maybe for a very small company, when your company does not have a physical router, we can use Server 2012 as a router as well. So in this, so this chapter is about how to enable a router in this network. Now, in order to enable a router in Server 2012, what we need to do is, so first of all, we can make a Server 2012 a router. Router, we already know, is a device that connects network together. So network number one, and this is network number two. This network is, let's say, it is 192.168.100.10, and this other network is 10.10.10.10. So two different networks together. Now this network can ping every this on this side. This network is all about 192.168. This is 10. They cannot ping each other. They cannot connect to each other. So in order to connect these networks, what we need to do is we need to bring a device called a router, which is this device. And I'm going to bring a router here. So this device is called a router. Now on one side it will connect to this network. On one side it will connect to this network, and on the other side it will connect to this network. So the router is a device that connects network together. Now, in order to simulate this in our network, in our small test lab, what we need to do is this. So we already have server number one. We already have server number two. This is server number one. This is server number two. This is client number one. This is where we have a client. All we need to do is, so in order to show you how this works, what I'm going to do is I am going to install a role called, in order to make a router, I need to install a role called remote server, remote management. I think this is called a remote management. Let me show it to you. So I'm going to make a router. So all you need to do on your server one, you need to go here, add roles and feature. But before going there, but let me show you what the role name is. So role is called, role is known as remote access. Sorry, the role is known as remote access, and here it says routing. It provides routing. So let me go back. So the role is known as remote access. Role is known as remote access, and but here I'm going to show you some requirements for this role. So first of all, the server on which you're about to install the role, that server should have two network cards. So it should have two network cards. So I'm going to have one network card on this side and the other network card on this side. Now, the purpose of this, because this is what router does, this network card will sit on one network. So this will be on 192 network, and this will be on 10 network. So basically, this is what I'm going to do on this server. So this is my server number one. On this, it already has one network card here. So this network card IP address is already this IP address. So on one side it is 192.168.100.10. And what we're going to do, I'm going to first show you that here I'm going to add a second network card and I'm going to set the IP address to 10.10. So on this card, I'm going to have this IP address. This IP address is on this card. And this server will act as a router. Basically, it will act as a gateway. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a new client. I'm going to bring a new client, something like this. So something like this. Let me bring this as a client. Copy, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so I'm going to bring this machine here. So I'm going to bring this machine here. And on this machine, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up an IP address called 10.10.10.20. So this will simulate that this machine is part of this network. So on this, there will be a network card, and this network card connects to this. And on this side, this machine is connected to these networks. So this is a router that sits between these two networks. And all I need to do just add the role and then set up the network card. So first I'm going to add a second network card to this server and then set up this IP address, and I'm going to install the role remote access, and I'm going to show you how it is done. It's really easy. All you need to do, few time practice, and you'll be an expert. Okay, so let's get started with this. So again, one more time, let's start again. This is my server number one. Make sure that everything is pinging on this side. I don't have a new machine yet for that other network. Now what I'm going to do is, first of all, make sure that they all pinging together. So if you do check all these basics, this will save you a lot. It will save you a huge time in troubleshooting. So make sure that they all are pinging each other and their firewalls are off. So I'm gonna do these checks first. So I'm gonna first go here and go here, go to check firewall. So firewalls are off on this one. What about second one? So I'm gonna check this second one as well. And quickly check firewall. Oh, firewall is on. This is not good. Now, if you don't do this, what happens is later we'll be troubleshooting router, but since these small little things are not working configured properly, it will give you a lot of issues, problems. So this one is not the adapter settings. I'm going to go here, firewall. There are other ways to go to a firewall, but I find this one most convenient. So here again, domain firewall is on. Let's switch it off. And these firewalls tend to switch on by themselves because of some changes, some services running. So firewalls are off. What you can also do, one more thing, check the ping. Check the basic connectivity between server 1 and 2. So I'm gonna ping the second server, which is 192.168 and 100.10. So it is basically that's itself, but I'm gonna ping the other server. So it's pinging. So our basic checks are done. Now I'm ready to install the router on this server. But before that, before starting the router, let me add another card. I have two network cards on this. One is NAT and the second one is bridge. This second card was just for the use of internet, but I'm going to need a second card on NAT. You don't need a second card. If you in your machine you have only one card, all you need to do is add a second card. If you don't have this card, it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is just add a second network card on this. So I'm going to go here, settings, do exactly what I'm doing. You can pause and move. So that's a good thing about a video lecture. And here you can go to NAT, select network card, yes, and here add a network card, and next, and finish. Network card is added. So once the network card is added, all we need to do based on our this diagram. So I just add this network card and I'm going to set up this IP address. The second network card is already set up with this IP address. So right here and right here, and at the same time from server 2, while I'm setting that up, let me do a continuous ping. So let me do a continuous ping to 10.10. So I'm gonna do a ping. So actually from here I can ping 192.168.100.10. It is pinging that server. But now let me ping minus t. Minus t is a continuous ping. It will keep on pinging, so 10.10. So this is the second interface. It will be failing now because this IP address doesn't exist, this network doesn't exist. Once a router starts working properly, then it will ping. And it will keep on pinging. So I'm just gonna leave it here and I'm gonna move on, do the configuration. So I just added this part and now I'm gonna configure it. So we'll go back to settings here. So go here, you can go to adapter. The new card that I just added is this one, is this Ethernet card. And in this, I'm going to go to properties and disable IPv6. And right here, I'm going to go to set up the other network card IP address. Make sure it is 10.10.10. And since it is class A address, it will automatically get the subnet mask. It doesn't matter, just leave this as is. So here and done. We don't need any DNS for this. So once this is done, a network card is set up, and now I'm ready to install the role. So now go here, actually not there, you can go here, add roles and services, and next. Now in here, since I have joined the other machine as well, if you don't have this machine, it's fine. All I need is server 1 to be selected. So next. And here I'm going to select remote access role, and you will install the role. And here you can see this can provide VPN, REST, and also routing services and NAT services. This one role can provide all these things. And you go to next, and you don't have to do anything here. This is now it's saying, would you need a routing or VPN? At this point, we don't need VPN. I just need routing and add. So can I disable this? Hold on. Okay, I can disable this. This comes with this. So for now I need routing. Later on we'll be doing VPN as well. But for now, routing and next and next. Just go next. Just select restart if it needs to. It might take few minutes to just install the role. I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna come back as soon as it is. Okay, just took around 5-6 minutes and it is installed. Now it's saying in order to configure the VPN, we can start this wizard, but I'm not configuring VPN at the moment. Although if you just click on this link, it will take you to the routing and remote access wizard where you can configure everything. But we don't have to do this. Let me click it. So it's running. It's just a bit slow. But we don't need to run this at the moment. What I do need to run, I need to set it up as a router. So I'm going to close this one. Basically, oh yeah, one more problem. That once you click on this, what happens? This starts and it is hidden under the wizard. So most of the time, at one time I was just sitting there for 20 minutes, 50 minutes, just waiting so that the window can appear. But sometimes it doesn't appear. It just sits in the background. So I'm not configuring VPN at the moment. I'll make another video for VPN. So I'm going to close this for now. And all I need to do is set up a router. So here you go to tools. And within tools, I can go to routing and remote access services. While this starts, I can show you that this server is still the pinging we were doing for 10 still not working, whereas it's just another network card on this. Now that will work once the router starts working. So here it gives you this. So you right click on this, and then once you right click on this, just say configure and enable routing and remote access. Then you go to next. Here it asks you, do you want to create a VPN, NAT, and all that. We don't need to do this. Go to custom configuration, and here select LAN routing. We just need a LAN router. And router is a device that connects two networks together. Here I'm going to go to finish and then start service. Now, many things it automatically does, but there are a few tricky things that we need to do while setting that up. Um, so, service is started. As long as this is green, I can just go here. It shows me that I have two network interfaces, actually three in my case. I have this one for bridge. We don't need this one, but all I need is this interface and this interface. I can go further down in IPv4, and in general I can see which IP addresses are for which. So this is my local network, which is in this case this side of the network, whereas the second network card is 10.10.10, which is right here. So which is this one? This is 10.10.10. And if once the router starts working, we should be able to ping from here to here. Now, immediately for now, what we can do is so on this side, this is still not pinging. Here, I can check a simple ping. So I'm going to check, first of all, myself. And secondly, let me check the 10.10, if I'm able to ping 10.10 from the same server, which which it should work because it's the same machine. So it is pinging. Basically, this is not a test to verify router is working. Basically, both network cards are on the same server and they're pinging. All I need to do now is, on this machine, I need to set it up, set the IP address of this as a gateway. So basically, what I need to do, if you need this to work, all I need to do is go to the network card of this second machine and go to adapter, and here within network card and in TCP IP properties, go to here and use this default gateway. So I'm going to say my default gateway is 192.168 and 100.10. Why 10? Because 10 is now my router, and I'm going to set that up. And as soon as you set it up, you will immediately see the router is working, router is routing the traffic. As soon as you don't have a gateway for this, so let me remove the gateway and let's do this. So let me give a wrong gateway actually. So as soon as you give a wrong gateway, let's see, it will you see it will give you error message. So destination host lost, and it will start making it won't be able to ping. So what happened is that for this machine we made this gateway. So gateway is like a door. This goes from here and it reaches the server, and from here it sees that, oh, there is a door to get into that other network. So that's how it goes, but the gateway is this. So I'm going to go back to the server and set this up. So this is how uh, router works. If you need to do more testing on this, so here, let me go back for a second. If you need to do more testing on this, all you need to do, you need another machine with this IP address. So basically a router is working now. So I'm going to go back here on this. It's just a bit slow. Why is it slow? Okay, it seems working. So right here, I'm still getting this message. Let me go into. Come on, come on, come on. Let me just fix it. Um, okay, so it seems like my machine is just heating up. That's why it's slow. Otherwise, now in order to fix this, that I'm trying to ping from here to the other part of the other network card. All I need to do is to set up a gateway, and gateway is just 10. As soon as it is set up, and you will see it starts pinging properly. So meaning our router is working fine. Now just to do a final test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring another other machine here. I do have a Windows 8. You can install Windows 8 as well. Windows 8, which is this machine, and I'm going to switch it on. And this machine is not part of this network. I'm gonna put it on 10.10 network. So that would simulate that this is sitting on 10.10 network. Once it starts, I'm gonna start actually this was paused, so it should start immediately. Okay, it is starting up. Just taking a few minutes. Now this will simulate. I'm gonna move it on this side here. You don't have to move it on this side. Uh, so remove it on this side. Now this one will simulate that this is on 10 network, and here if I go here, it has only one network card. Let me go to network settings here, and I can go to network settings from here. Right click and go to properties. Go to network adapter. Go to Ethernet 0. Properties. Here we need to go set up the IP address, and here I'm going to set up the IP address 10.10.10.20, and this will be subnet mask of 0, 0, and the gateway for this machine will be 10.10.10.10, which is the gateway, which is the IP address. So that's the IP address of the router. And then OK and OK. Let's open CMD on this. Let's open CMD and ping 10.10.10.10. First, its gateway. It is pinging 10.10.10. Let me open now 190. Let me ping now 192.168. 10 dot. If router is working fine, they should be able to ping. So it's not, I have to write the word ping. How can I forget? And it's pinging. And now the main task, let me ping 20, the other server, and it is pinging the other side. Now the final test will be to ping from server 2 to 20. So I'll just press Control C to cancel this, and this time I'm gonna ping the other side of the router, which is 20, and it is pinging successfully. So guys, this way we configured the router and now two networks are connected together. One more time, all we did, this is our Windows 8 machine. So this one is Windows 8 machine. It has this IP address. This is connected to this side of the router. Whereas this is connected to this side of the router. And we were successfully able to ping from here to here and then back to this machine. So guys, this is how router works. This is how we can configure router. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.